Good afternoon. This is Veterans Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing, but it's a thing we want you to tune into every Saturday. We're here. And we're here most of the Saturdays trying to do the same thing we've been doing ever since we started the show back in 2004. Trying to make sense out of a sensitive situation called the plight of veterans in the USA, and the USA with the plight of veterans. And we're here, veterans talking to veterans in the community about all things veterans. Tony, thank you for lining up for me to make me look better than I'm looking. You know, but
we're a team.
Yeah, we're a team.
We're a team.
We've been blessed. You know, we got the Queen.
Yes.
The Queen
yes.
today. I had, you know, when she said she wanted to be on the show, I wasn't gonna have the show without her.
Exactly.
You know, why would I feel like this about this sister? She is like you know, like a servant that was in Atlanta City Council.
Yeah.
For decades. You know, one of the people that made this city what it is now.
Exactly.
A great city, the best place to live in the country, except for one thing, the gun violence. We got to.
Yes.
We're gonna deal with that too. But sister, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you for being here. I just want you to talk for a minute because you are all over everywhere, doing everything. I mean, you're probably the only person I know that move around more than me.
I don't know. You got me beat. You got me beat.
But you know, we are in this thing where, you know, we I think we got a God moment taking place in politics in America.
Yeah.
You know, just a God moment. You know, less than a month ago, looked like all hope was gone. You know, all the excitement out of being an American, getting ready to vote for the presidency of the United States was dark. It was like, you know, was no hope. It was a dreary kind of situation.
Right.
But now, we got some excitement that's shaking the nation.
It is.
So tell me about how you think it's going to play out in our home state of Georgia, because they say we're a swing state. You know,
Swing state. That's right.
I'm rolling back for a minute. I'm looking at the fact that this swing state elected 2 senators.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna let you talk. We gotta get to talking now.
Well, you know, of course, the convention is coming up, which is going to put the stamp on the vice president for her to be the official nominee. But they've already started doing phone banking in the state, which is good. Which is good. That can't come too soon, you know. And then we've got other things we've got to do, door to door, and we've got to really encourage our young people to get out. And I think they're excited now.
Yes.
And so I've had an opportunity to see the vice president even when she came here during COVID. So I think I've seen her 3 times, okay? And she's always enthusiastic. She's interested in young people, and she was always at Atlanta University complex, okay? So I was glad to see her stretch out to go to Georgia State. And I think that ruffled the opposition's feathers because they weren't expecting that. And so the former president had to come behind her and go to the same venue. But he made some mistakes.
Well, you know, I'm gonna say this here. Now, I might be a little hard about this here, but I'm concerned with the hypocrisy of those that following Donald Trump back to the presidency. Right. I'm having a real problem with that. Is this a comment call? No. Okay. I'm having a real problem with that because now this man has been a convicted felon and he's convicted of a civil offense too. Now I'm a veteran of the U.S. military, and I know for an absolute fact that you cannot get into the U.S. military with a felony conviction or a civil conviction. Now they want to elect a guy to the presidency, which will become the commander-in-chief.
Yes.
Over the U.S. military.
Right.
What hypocrisy are we dealing with in these folks that
Right.
want to do that? That's boggling my mind. I mean, I can understand the racism, right? You know,
Right,
you get that's individual. They got to deal with that. But this is more like a coming out against the very principles upon which we serve in the military. You know, we serve to have an honorable character.
Right.
You know, and I'm gonna see what God is dead. You know, He's working. I'm meeting that day when I leave here with some Morehouse guys.
Oh, good.
Now these Morehouse guys just happen to be my nephew.
Okay.
So I'm gonna listen. That way, you know, one of them is a doctor. Coming out of Morehouse. You know, coming out of Emory. He's a son of Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know, he's the sons of Atlanta that didn't go to the military.
Right.
And what we're calling up on with our project, the Sons of Atlanta Vietnam War Memorial, this is a call to unity.
Right.
For veterans in our community to deal with saving our democracy, saving what we serve for. I was wounded in a war that took 58,000 of my peers.
Yeah.
And 240 of some was out of my hometown. 6 of them was out of my high school. Some of them was out of his high school. You know, and then this guy gonna call us suckers for serving?
You know
I mean,
what?
I got an attitude.
Yeah. That was something that disturbed me when he went over to Europe back 5 years ago for D-Day celebration.
D-Day.
And he was supposed to go to this cemetery where American veterans had died over there, overseas, but they were buried at this cemetery. And he called them losers.
Yeah. Yes.
And you know,
he struck the heart of every veteran that ever served.
Because I have 3 people in my family that served, including my father in World War II. So how are you gonna call them losers?
Yeah.
And they gave their life for him to be who he was and to have the advantages in this country that he has.
Yes.
How you gonna call them losers?
See, that's
It's
why
something, he's sick. Something wrong with him mentally.
the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just pushing him aside because I know his motive is to stay out of jail.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
He running for president to stay out of jail. You know, I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
No,
I
you're right.
apologize.
You're
but
right.
right now, I'm thinking his only objective, because he's a person that don't care nothing. I mean, watching his whole career, even before he was in politics, he don't care nothing about nobody but him and his. You know, I mean, we go back to when he was a young man with his daddy, and you know, they owning real estate in New York.
Right.
You know, black people had to go to court to rent from him. You know, so I don't understand the hypocrisy though of veterans and veterans' families supporting this guy.
I don't get it.
This
I don't
is
understand
called
it.
hypocrisy. These are hypocrites.
Right.
That I mean, I'm looking at some of these folks now. I'm saying, I'm scared of y'all. For real.
Right.
You know, I'm so scared of y'all. I'm ready to sack up, get back in military gear. You know, to defend the country that I already served for, that my friends died for. I'm not. Let's see. I swear against all enemies, domestic and off power. I will give my life for this country. I'm not a sucker. You know, I might look like one, but come on, follow me for a minute.
Right.
Just follow me for a minute, and you'll see that I represent most veterans, people that ever served. This is a class of folks that, you know, the Bible say, no greater faith than that. That you're willing to lay down your life for another.
That's right.
That's what we come to the table with as young men.
Right.
Look at the website, Sons of Atlanta. These young men died before they were 21 years old.
Yeah.
And you think that we're going to let somebody just march in this country? I'm talking to all veterans and all their families, all our loved ones, all our support. Going to march into this country. Everybody that have gave a family member to this military service. Because they all gave some, but some gave all.
Right.
That all that gave something, you look at them at the VA every day. That's, you know, that's carrying injuries and medical conditions that service brought to them. And you're going to tell me that we ain't going to vote, right? We gonna listen. Help us, please. help us get to the poll.
Yeah. So I have a friend of mine, and so he was having an issue. He said we never got into what his supposed issue was with the vice president, with Kamala. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, would you rather have Trump? I said, because in his book, you're a loser. You served your country 9 years Marine. You're a loser.
That's his bias.
I said, you know that, right? Mm-hmm. And some people don't know that. Mm-hmm. He said that. That's why it's important for us here to be able to talk about things that he said even 4 or 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And that's when he was president. Mm-hmm. You know, and you are the ultimate commander-in-chief. And you're calling people that have protected you, people that protect your family, your personal family. You're calling everybody a loser that has served in this country.
See, sister, I'm going to tell you something. I've always been a fan of John McCain, Senator. Vietnam.
Oh yes.
And I was wondering, when he realized that he had brain cancer, right? This is a condition that he said then he didn't want the man at his funeral. I said, oh, that's tough, man. This is the president of the United States. Yeah. Every veteran want that kind of, recognition that your commander in chief. He said, I don't want him at my funeral. Yeah. And he wasn't there.
Right. Didn't need to be there. He talked bad about the man.
If the veteran community
called him a loser.
If we don't take offense to that and recognize that we got somebody running for the presidency of these United States that ain't really talking about these United States.
Right.
He's not talking about
It's all about him.
He's talking about him and something else that they got to come up with Project 25 where they gonna slice it. But I'm gonna tell you what he did when he was here as president. A lot of people don't recognize this. He started privatizing government services. This man got over 500 companies. These billionaires, 6 of them in his cabinet. 6 with his cabinet. They messed up the VA so bad right now. It's like Jesus wept looking at this stuff, man. The way they got veterans and dependents struggling for benefits that they have already earned because of the privatization of the exams part of VA disability grid. Listen, we got veterans right now that's homeless throughout this country.
Right.
If they was getting the care that they
supposed to get
deserve from VA,
they wouldn't be homeless.
Yeah. And I guarantee you, 9 out of 10 of them got a service-related condition. See, that's why we got to talk with the families, and that's what make you so special. I mean, not just a servant of our community. I know you love all our people, but I think you love veterans a lot.
I love veterans the most.
I think you love veterans because I can remember, right? I can remember when I was living in Oakland City. I've always been an advocate now, But then I think one day you called me and said, why are you talking about me so bad? And then we wound up doing a project together.
That's right, in Oakland City.
We use the system. She know where that stuff is, right? I wanted to do a cleanup. Right now, I got a bunch of old guys. We ain't gonna do no cleanup. We supervise the cleanup, right? She got 20 community service workers. I think it was about 4 or 5 of us. We did the supervising, making sure everybody got there, everything that was taken care of. But she saw what we was talking about, and responded to it, in a way that if we could get all our elected officials. Right. Exactly. Just listen to us.
Yeah.
Help us, because we have a spirit of service that's unmatched by any other demographic in the community.
Yes.
If we come back to this hometown, we want to make sure, first of all, that there are no war weapons. No war weapons in the streets of Atlanta. Right. And we're gonna make sure that we elect after we get this sweep the grass and all these snakes in the government. We're gonna get them out of there. The spirit of joy that's sweeping the nation right now on a national level, gonna shine on the local level where these electors done tried to take over, so they can't certify the elections.
Right.
All these demons.
So that's So that's a new law. It's not a law.
No.
It's a the Fulton County Board of Registration and Elections just recently got 3 new members, and the one that's over the president of it or chair of it has put this new ruling in, and they went along with it, that they can challenge the certification. Well, if you don't certify the votes, then the new person doesn't get in.
Yeah. Even after you done voted for him.
Even after you done voted for him.
See,
or her. That's
and
right.
that's the snakeness
Right.
that he done. Now, I'm gonna say this here, man. I'm not a Democrat or Republican. Cause see, if I was a Democrat right now, I would have all them folks under investigation in every state for conspiring to steal the election. That's all.
They had fake electors.
Yeah, this is the same
fake
crew.
electors. Right.
This same crew.
Yes.
You know, the same crew that Fannie was trying to bring in check.
Right.
So that's what look what they did to her. I mean, you know, she made some bad decisions, but they didn't have anything to do with her case.
Right, exactly.
You know, but the Republican establishment attacked her in a way that she can't go forward with prosecuting a case.
Exactly.
A legitimate case.
A legitimate case, and then they're gonna holler they're the party of law and order. They listen. The law that they want excuse them from any violations of the laws that keep us together.
Right.
You know, and that's what we got to really be able to communicate to the electorate, especially those hardliners that don't want to vote for a woman, right? You know,
Right.
that she ain't got enough experience, she don't know enough. Listen, this guy, we got to realize this is a government that we are electing. She gonna have a cabinet around her to help her, just like Joe Biden had a cabinet around him when she was part of that. We need to stop letting these people think we're simple.
Right.
See, they think that we black people ain't got no sense or something. I don't know what they talking about, but it's frustrating. So many of us will say, I don't know what
but they know we have plenty of sense. You see, and it's just common sense. Why are you trying to keep the black man down or keep black folks down for 400 years? Why? Because we're strong.
Yes.
That's why. They don't try to keep the weak ones down because they know this group over here is weak. So we don't need to worry about them, but we continue to rise up even when we've been beaten down. Okay?
Yeah.
And so that's what they're fearful of.
They say, I fall down, but I get up.
I get up every time.
Every time.
Every
You
time.
Get up stronger, more
Right,
determined.
exactly.
You know, more resilient too. And that's what's
And not trying to harm the enemy, just trying to do for our people.
Exactly.
That's it.
See, that's why, you know, I love Dr. King, I love John Lewis, but I ain't no nonviolent perpetrator. I'm a soldier.
Right.
I'm not. I don't play like that. I'm calling out veterans. I want you to go start registering and working these
Please,
polls.
please.
See, some people think that they're gonna be able to intimidate election. People going to the poll. We need to get these rolls. They just go to this site that you need to go to.
Right.
And register for the jobs and the volunteer slots that's open so we could be at the poll.
That's right. These jobs, I just went over to Fulton County because I wanted to see if people could go on and apply for these jobs. They said that we're looking for people. So they will. You can either do one day if you want to, and that's election day, or you can work from September to December. So they want people.
Yeah, see, and I'm like this. They gonna do it. They send up people to go there to try to intimidate voters.
Yeah.
So we need to be there to make sure the voters ain't intimidated. They got some back. You know, they got the security of veterans to exercise their rights to vote in peace and without fear. So I'm calling out all veterans right now, and we're gonna go on our little campaign the way we do our campaign. We're veterans. I mean, I'm talking about the veterans. I ain't talking about them veterans that like they want a white nation now. You tell them. Tony, I'll let you talk to them because you got a more level head than I got when it comes to that. But we still got to remember that the military is the most integrated part of our society because of what we did in our service. And we're better together, really. If you don't, I'm going to salute my grandson and all the other young people that serve now, and we want to encourage them to keep on keeping on. We're going to have some of them at this evening under the stars.
Under the stars, yeah.
We're going to have them there because, see, we're gonna come together in an environment. Now, this is in the backyard of a sister whose brother is one of our honorees. Now, let me talk about this honoree.
And I want you to give them a telephone number, maybe your number that they can call.
No, I'm gonna give them Tony number.
Okay, purchase a ticket. You can purchase a ticket. You can purchase a table.
Yeah.
You can bring somebody that you know who is a veteran to this event. It's on August 24th.
August 24th.
August 24th.
And we already done ran, our security done already ran the whole community. You know how our leader, you know, he done ran the whole, so it's gonna be a safe and encouraging event because what we're trying to do, the city of Atlanta have paid for the construction of the memorial. So we're not getting much, raising money to do the construction. We're raising money because now we need to be able to set it in place in a way that history don't change the context. We got some stuff to do. Building those 3 pillars that we're gonna put at the beginning of the entrance to the plaza. I want you to go online, www.sonsofatlanta.org. Sonsofatlanta.org. Look at the pictures of the young men. See who know who. You know, look at what we're trying to do. Look at the work that we're doing. And you want to buy a brick. Now, you want to buy a brick now because let me tell you this what's going to happen. We are getting an MOU with a conservative, Piedmont Park Conservative. They're going to promote the sale of the bricks. They're going to help us promote the sale of the bricks. You might be coming down 75 and past Georgia State and see a big old buy a brick. That's who we are. The community is getting involved with this because it's about our community. You know, we're talking about the value of military service. We got young people every year that you graduate from high school. You got our young people going into the U.S. military. We need to let them know that's an honorable service, but they need to learn how to make it even more honorable. You know, and that's vote. Make sure they vote. Make sure that they are voting for a commander-in-chief that respect you and respect your service. First of all, that's more than anything. You know, we just got a blessing right now because Tim was a sergeant major. You know what them sergeant majors were, right? They'll work your death. Listen, I can remember a sergeant major that, you know, he used to tell me, he said, soldier, listen, don't salute me, don't serve me, because I work for my living. That's what sergeant majors do. You know, they are hands-on kind of people that know how to motivate their troops to do the right thing. We just so have the vice president selected to be her vice president when she become president is a veteran. A sergeant major, for all y'all, you know, veteran type, you know what that is. So you know you got a worker. You know you ain't got nobody there pretending what they doing. They done raised up through the ranks. They come up through the ranks. They work their way up through the ranks to become sergeant major. That's one of the highest enlisted roles in the military. So let us not be distracted with all this toxic stuff that's going on, you know, knocked off course, because they mean what they say. What they're telling us, they mean it. We don't need nobody to tell us what we need to be. Dr. Carver say, organize, strategize, and mobilize. And that's what we got to do. We got to make sure on a base level that, and they pay pretty good at them roles on the electric. They pay pretty good. But you're going more than for the money, you're going for your service. We're going for your service because If they saying all this junk, they're gonna come up with some clowns with guns that come try to intimidate voters. Veterans not intimidated. You know what? You aggravators with that. So we want the freedoms that we fought for, that we served for our community, to be treated like every other community. I'm tired of going on constantly on riding and all them good streaks and come over here and get on Campbellton Road and bump.
That's right.
And that's all because of we don't use our boats.
Right.
So I'm talking to the active duty military that's in our community. We got a lot of them right now, especially National Guards. Right? One unit right down the street. Some of them are gonna be at eating under stuff because we want them there. We're there for them. We were gonna make sure that once this is over, once this election is over, we're gonna have a sit down with Tim, and we're gonna talk about the VA and how it needs to be straightened up to make sure that veterans don't have to be struggling for their benefits. That they're not being mistreated when they filing a claim for their benefits. Like Kenny, here with us every Saturday. Got pension, filed a claim in 2016 when I first met him. 2016. I think I met him on the day they had them granted the benefit, right? He filed a double claim, you know, and a lot of veterans don't know what that is. You know, you go in there, you ask for pension and benefits and compensation. Compensation pay you about 3 times more than pension. They gave him a pension, right? But the same conditions that other people are getting for exposure to Agent Orange. Give him pension. When the record was clear, he was claiming Fort Gordon, Georgia, as his point of exposure, right? They ain't denied not one time it ain't there. Matter of fact, they done conceded that it was there. But still today, they got him going in a circle. It don't make sense. We need better leadership in this country on a level, every level of government, especially the federal level where they are pushing that money back down to the states, right? Listen, this year, the VA gave the state of Georgia some $700,000 for mental health stuff, right? It went to Kennesaw for a study. The house is on fire, man. Come on.
We're going to study it to death.
We're going to study till the house went down. You know, we got, listen, I'm so glad you here to help us talk sense to these folks. Because, see, we trying to make sense out of a sensitive situation.
Yeah, sense out of nonsense. That's really what it is. Yeah. Trying to make sense out of nonsense. But
now we got this voting opportunity. See, that's what I'm so excited about. Right. And I'm excited about the enthusiasm, the kind of spirit that's being created for us to go to the polls.
Right. So let me say this, as a former elected official of 28 years, okay, Councilmember Cleta Winslow, for those of you who may not know me, the way the elected officials, and I shouldn't say it, we serve everyone, but we also look at who votes, okay? So if you're wondering why senior citizens may be getting more than another group of people, it's because those seniors vote. They vote each and every time. Now, everybody gets something, but they may get a little sugar on top, okay? Or a little honey on top of their bun, okay? You just may get a bun, all right? So voting is important. A vote speaks to the elected official that you cared enough to take 10 minutes out of once every year or once every 4 years to go vote. That means something, okay? And it should mean something to you, because the old saying is, if you don't vote, you don't count. And that's a true saying. We can't see you. You don't make your presence visible if you're not voting. And you laying on the couch and saying, my vote's not going to do any good, I don't need to go vote, doesn't mean anything to go vote, the elected officials going to do the same thing they've been doing. Because you got the power even after you vote. to send a letter to your elected official to say, I voted for you. I got a lot of that. I voted for you. And you're not doing such and such. I paid attention to that. Call the person back. We need to talk. If I'm not doing something correctly, then correct me. Okay? If there's something you need to tell me, tell me. I'm listening. But voting is so important. And you don't think it is, but it is. And I've talked to people who don't vote. That's very disturbing to me. Because you are throwing your vote away. You're saying, I don't care. You're throwing your vote to whoever might get in there and may not do a good job. So please go out and vote. It is so important. That's your voice. Okay? Every time there's an election, your voice is coming to the polls, taking 10 minutes. Doesn't take long, 10 minutes to vote. And so that vote is important. It's very important. That's why Reverend McGee is talking about sometimes we don't get what we're supposed to get in certain parts of town because people aren't voting the way they're supposed to. They're not staying on the elected official. You got to stay on us, okay? When people stayed on me and called me up, it told me that you cared about your neighborhood. When just a few people called from certain neighborhoods, I said, listen, how come more people aren't calling from your community? Your community needs some more help. But see what happens with elected officials, we got a 911 call every day. It's like going to a fire. It's like the police. They go into a call. So we go to where the calls come from. It's not that we're trying to ignore another community that may be in neglect, but if you're not calling us to say, pay some attention over here too, then we're over here because the people are calling. So you need to call. Call your elected official. Get on us. They used to get on me all the time. I loved it. I loved it because it showed me that you cared about your community. And we did we partnered together at that point.
At that point. And let me say this, Tony. I want you because see, Tony, me and Tony talking all the time. We together all the time. We doing stuff all the time. You said something the other day when we was at I think it was at a membership meeting. I think it might have been at the town hall meeting. Yeah. One day you was looking at the website and you recognized somebody on that website from your school, and you said, "I'm gonna put a picture up." Tell them what you were talking about, Tony. It's been on my mind ever since you said that. So now this.
It was at our monthly meeting. And everything, and you had the website up. And I got to see some of the pictures, and I recognized one of my classmates from high school, not actually in my class, but he went to Harper High School. And I said, I need to, as a personal person, bring that to the attention of those students that are a part of my class that would have known him and everything, making them aware of the fact that this is a veteran who served our country, who paid the ultimate price, and we need to honor him.
He gave his life.
Yes.
He gave his life.
But you mentioned the thing about voting. We don't really realize how fundamentally important this election is in so many areas. Because we look at the top position, which is going to be incredible, having a black female on the ticket for President of the United States. That should cue everybody up at the importance of this election, but particularly our community. This is one of the few times that we can really let the country know that we are behind our presidential, the person running for that position, which will, like you said, now we're rattling the cage. We're making noise, and they're going like, look at what the black community came out and did for the election of this female black woman as president of the United States. So now we got their attention, which is what you said we need to do. We need to get their attention and let them know how important we are. And we're an essential part of it. And so that also lets her know that we voted for you, so we expect a return on our votes.
Exactly.
And the thing about that is I don't think we have to worry about that, because everything she's said and done is indicated that she's aware of the power of our vote. And she wants us out there, and she knows how important we are. You know, this is a major election, major election. Yes.
And what you were saying, Tony, about, I'm gonna go back to this sighting, because what I realized when you were saying that comes out of that central neighborhood over there. Now you got a lot of young people in that neighborhood, and with a lot of influence. Now, you was talking about putting a picture up. What we're gonna do, we're gonna find out. We're gonna identify every person that went to Harper. That's on our website. We're gonna do it for Washington High. We're gonna do it for Carver. We're gonna do it for Turner. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the pictures of those guys. We're gonna post them in these communities. You know, let these young folks know. Because some of the families are still there. They need to know that these heroes came out of their community.
That's right.
This is one of us.
Right.
That was one of the responses I got. One of our classmates, because we were classmates, said, "I remember you." And she told me and this was her uncle. My uncle went to Harper, was in your class, and he was a member of a particular organization. You know, and so we just got to get it out there. Once we get it out there, the people are going to gravitate to it.
And they would know this. They just take ownership of this government. You know, they take ownership of the city government. Then they'll begin to do what Reverend Love used to talk about, man. When he talked about
Albert Love.
Yes.
See, that was a veteran. He taught me all of the whole thing. So he had me out there holding signs.
Yep.
You know, so we work. You know, one of the things, like they say, you got to talk it like you walk it. You got to talk it like you walk it like you talk it. We got to get out. We got to get involved with our community. Now, what they don't understand is a lot of the people that's supporting the project. Now, we're not just building a memorial in the park to honor these guys. We're going into their communities with the resources that gonna overcome the lack in these communities. That will, the crime goes down when there ain't no lack, when there's no need. You know, so we got to stop looking for the police to do it all.
You can't do it. They can't do it all.
They
shouldn't be able to do it all.
We got to go into our community. We're going into the community centers. We're going into the library. These are entities already at work in our community, and they love veterans. They love for us to come in there with programs. It don't cost nothing, but just go in there and schedule it. So we got to go in the libraries with some of our books, some of our articles. That's going to be there, and tutorials, right, to help people learn how to. One of the things that we need, the broadband is in the hood. Now we got a bunch of folks don't know how to operate that, and you know, seniors and other young people too, that don't know how to operate on the internet. We got to go in the libraries and set up tutorials where they can come in there after school, after work, or you know, they ain't doing nothing. Go down to the community center. You got somebody down there that's helping you learn something that's gonna make it better for you in the community.
There's a program, and I didn't know this. Best Buy has a program. It's called, I think it's called Teen Tech. And so it's at the Central Library downtown. And so I gave a little donation because I was in there shopping. And so they're teaching the young people technology after school. So I didn't even know they had a program. You know.
See, and that's the kind of stuff you was talking about Walmart, get second chance high.
Ooh,
you know, we got to make this information right there at the fingertips of the community. Because see, If you don't get it, your sister get it, your cousin
Right.
get it.
Yeah.
They're gonna tell you about
Right.
it. We got to listen, the people perish for the lack of knowledge.
Right.
We're going to go into the neighborhoods, right? We done already discovered a lot of things in Fulton County, the money that's there that I didn't know was there. You know, they ain't showed us and they done told us the money was there. They ain't gave us the contact yet. But we're going to make sure we know what all of these resources are and that we got somebody in the community center and the library every day. They're going to be volunteers too. They're going to be volunteers every day to help people get this new knowledge, help them understand how to operate a computer if they don't know how to operate a computer, and then we're gonna start going and get some of these nonprofits to get computers for people that ain't got them.
Yeah. And so over at Oakland City Rec Center, we just put in 10 new computers. Okay, now they're teaching the seniors, you know, since the young people are in school. So the seniors are learning because they're going back to work. And as you said, Reverend McGee, Walmart has a special program, Second Chance program. It's been going on for about 10 years. If you come out of jail and your record's not too bad, they're going to give you a second chance
And you know
where
what?
you can go and apply for a job.
And
I know some people that have gotten hired by Walmart.
Yeah, and that information shouldn't be just, you know, listen, I didn't know about it, and I'm going to Walmart every day. I didn't know about it, and I deal with reentry, right? Reentry, people coming back out of prison into the community.
Right.
That Georgia Reentry Center down there across from the homeless program. I don't want to say that bad, Tony.
That's another topic.
Get to you. So see, what I see down there, you know, people coming out of prison, right? They got to get a job. They
Right. Otherwise, they're gonna go right back into committing
right back
crime.
to the buddies that they was hanging out with, and they're gonna go right back to crime. Lack.
Right.
We're gonna have to address the lack of information.
Right.
Lack of assistance in our community to help us cross this bridge to prosperity in the good way. You know, because now and then we got to deal with the gangs in our schools. We got to, you know, so I need the veteran that you got some time, especially retired veteran police officer.
Please.
I want y'all, I'm going to be calling on you to come up with some time to go visit these schools, to volunteer in these schools so we can undermine these gangs' development and with our children. We got to realize that we got the problem, we got the solution. We just got to slow down, come together. You know, with all this kind of stuff. I look at the task force.
Yeah, we need some help over at Finch Elementary. So I'd like to. I would hope that would be a targeted.
See, all these schools in our community. That's why we're going into the community. We're going in there with purpose.
Right.
To honor these guys that came, that paid the ultimate price for the freedom that we got. That's being lost because if you got a high crime statistic in your community, ain't no business coming in there because they can't get no insurance.
Right.
You know, we got to start looking at how government work and teach our folks how this stuff work so that we can really come on into the promised land. We need to come out of the wilderness.
Right.
You know, but we don't do it with all of us doing something on one corner, and we ain't got no collaboration.
Right.
We got no collaboration.
Everybody's doing something good, but we're working in silos. We need to come together.
We need to come together.
And you can still do your thing over here.
But we need you to do your thing.
Yeah.
You see,
but we come together every now and then for
now
targeted.
we need to be in communication because see, migration from one community to another. You know, like you got a lot of people migrate to Atlanta that are homeless that really live in when they wasn't when they got debunked. You know, we need to see all these communities need to be working together to deal with this problem. Because you got good programs over here, you got one over here, and you got good them over here. And the government is spending good money for it. I want to praise our mayor right now with those new Kennison homes that he's in Omo. They're nice places. But now I'm gonna challenge them to do this here. Really, we can eliminate homelessness in Atlanta, Georgia, within the next 3 months. Take everybody off the street, right? Take them all off the street. And I'm challenging them to do a new thinking. The barracks that I was serving in at Fort Memphis. The barracks. They got barracks there.
They're just sitting empty.
They just sitting empty. I'm challenging the county, the state, and the redevelopment authority. We don't need that for no more than about 3 years.
Right.
We could fix it where all them people that was homeless are back into a comfortable position in the community.
Yeah.
Either those that are disabled, they'll be on disability, those that can work, we done restored them to the work world. But we got to stop working in little pockets. You know, where we ain't coming together. We're not taking advantage of all of this. Now, I'm gonna tell you what you did for our focus on with the Sons of the Land. I had to go back there because me and Tony talked about it, right? You know, you recognize that a lot of we wasn't getting the support that we needed for that because they were looking at that as a black project because they only saw black people with it. They never went to the website to see that they got more white folks on there. Because we talking about veterans. We're talking about the whole community, right? So we got to get past that stigma when we get to see some black, you think they're going to. So that's why I like what the vice president is doing with appealing to all Americans.
Right. That's why I was glad when she went to Georgia State. That was important.
Yeah.
You know, you got to stretch out.
Yeah.
You know, because you're going to serve everyone.
Everybody.
In my district, not only did I serve Democrats, I served Republicans. Not only did I serve blacks, I served white.
Yeah.
Young and old. Okay? And I served everybody.
And see, what made me so proud of some of the people that I work with. I was at Piccadilly's. You missed Piccadilly's the other day.
Yeah.
I was at Piccadilly with Michael, you know, and he just come from a little place up the street that just opened up. Business complex, I think. I don't know, but he told me, he gave me a thing saying we supposed to come down there. They doing some grand opening stuff, and they gonna speak up for veterans. This is, you know, aside from what he's doing with us, you know, he's in the community, and I got to Piccadilly. All the people around the table wasn't black. You know,
right?
You know,
it was mixed.
Yeah,
it was mixed.
It was like the community.
So it was like the community, and that's what makes me so excited about Kamala. Because I'm seeing it with my folks on my levels, with you, Michael, and Marvin Arrington Jr. and Louis Antonio. You know.
Oh yes.
You know, we get a chance to we make them either look for it and say, hey, how you doing? Or they start trying to turn the corner. And they see me and Tony come because they know we coming with a purpose.
Right.
You know, we ain't coming with all that junk. We coming with a purpose. It might be personal sometimes.
Right.
It might seem personal because I just bought a house and it took me forever to get Fulton County to give me the paperwork to show that my property is tax exempt. You know, it wasn't the county. It wasn't the county because the law is there. It was the personnel.
Right.
Yep.
You know, so we got all kind of issues that we need to address with our elected officials, and we got to stop being scared to approach them.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me say one thing because I know we have to wrap up soon. But Goodwill, and some people don't know that we now have a Goodwill in Southwest Atlanta. It's at 2160 Metropolitan Parkway, Southwest, 2160.
New facility, too.
A new facility. It's been there 2 years or less. They do job fairs for veterans.
Resume billing, everything.
Listen, and it's free. Yeah. And so if veterans are looking
that's the
for some
information
help,
we're trying to bring to the table.
right,
Thank you.
right. If anybody's looking for a job, if you need GED, it's free. Right there. They have job fairs. I went over there one day, the parking lot was full. I didn't know they were having a job fair. You can make $75,000 starting out with some of these jobs that they have. They have apprenticeship jobs, you know, where you can get in, learn it. Next thing you know, you're in the union and you're making good money.
And that's what Goodwill does all over the city.
All over the city. But see, all of them, the one that was, I used to have to go for information to the one way up on Buford Highway, on Buford Highway, and then there was one on Lawrenceville Highway. So I would go to those, and so then when I found out that one was going to be right here in the city, That's what was exciting for me. Yeah.
In our community.
In our community,
Yes.
where we can get help.
to get these resources known. That's where we're going into the libraries and stuff. We're going in there. We're not going to, we're going to develop some new revenue to do some immediate stuff, but we're talking about bringing the stuff together that's already happening.
Exactly.
You know, because when we started, got Marvin to start this veteran service program, they put out, this is $30 million, right?
Yep.
We don't even know where some of it going, because we ain't seen none of the work in the community. We want that money to come to the community with people that's already doing stuff in the community to see. And if we got it like that, they won't have to keep repeating it. You know, and one people we need to tell these folks about these immigrants, right? They help expand the economy. Can you tell them that these immigrants help expand the economy? They got something to realize that.
That and plus they're contributing to Social Security. I was just listening to something on television. I think it was earlier today, and they were saying how we're running out of Social Security money. So if we don't have foreigners legally coming in, we want them to be legal now, okay? We don't just want people to rush over the border. But they are contributing to our Social Security.
Yes.
So the young people that live here in the United States, you're supposed to pay into Social Security. If you don't have a job that's not paying into Social Security, when you get ready to apply, you're not going to get anything. So make sure that they're taking money out for Social Security for your later years.
Well, see, that's one of the things the billionaires is doing. They want to work these people under the cover so they don't have to give all that.
Yeah, but
they're complaining about them, but they're using them too.
They're using them too. Yeah.
They want their cheap labor.
Right.
So see, I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna go. I bought this ring, right? You know, and people thought that they said, Reverend McGee done got some money, right? I told them, I said, this come from China for $3.
Yeah.
So don't be fooled by it, 'cause China is, just taking over the market because what is happening. These billionaire corporations that went to these countries where they can get cheap labor.
Cheap labor, exactly.
And they bringing the stuff back to us and selling it for us at inflated prices.
Right.
Charlie, close us out, man. Close out. We got to go.
Well, yeah, we have so many topics to talk about and everything. So we want to say every Saturday from 4 to 5 o'clock, come back. Serious television, serious radio, internet television, and watch the show. Veterans talking about things dealing with veterans, and now an election in our community. So Saturday, 4 to 5 o'clock, right here, Sirius Radio. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and we'll see you next week, 4 o'clock, here on Sirius Television.
And let me say this, our queen.
Yeah.
I know you come when you can, but you need to come more regularly.
I'll come more regularly. I will. I promise.
If we're gonna educate and motivate, we got to have people here. Because I think sometimes they look at me and Tony, they think we joking. They think we just joking, up here having fun. No, we having fun at it because, you got to have a joyful spirit. You need to have a joyful spirit.
Yes.
In spite of all this craziness going on around us, we still had to have a joyful spirit. We still got to do things in good order and decency. So we can do it and laugh. We can have a joyful spirit, like the vice president. She bringing so much joy.
Yes, she is. And hope.
Yes. And that's when you done left the toxic politics and you done started talking about community building.
Right.
She just talking about rebuilding the fibers of this country.
That's right.
In a way that Biden set the groundwork.
Right. Set the tone.
He set the tone for it. And I'm going to just say this here. It took a mighty strong faith in this country for him to do what he did.
Yes.
Yes.
For him to do what he did.
Yes.
And we shouldn't ignore that,
That's right.
that stroke of faith that he put in us.
Right.
He said, "Man, it's up to you.
Right.
It's up to us."
Right.
And if we don't see that and respond to that,
Yeah.
it's gonna get ugly. Cause see what these people trying to do. we ain't gonna be able to tolerate it. You know, if they got in charge, if they took, he talked about if he don't win, it's gonna be blood free. If he win, it's gonna be blood free.
Yeah.
Because we are not gonna be able to tolerate what they planning to do.
Not planning what he said he's going to do.
He's been very vocal
he's
with
been
what
very
he said.
out front.
Yeah. So what we got to do, we got to continue doing what we're doing. You know, we just happen to be blessed to have this platform and developing this platform because Marvin been here, Michael been here, Antonio been here. Andre Bone need to get out here too. She need to talk. Start talking. She's talked the talk, but she ain't walking the walk yet. I feel sorry for Natalie. You know, I hate what she had happened. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna say, Bo, let's see what you're working with.
Right.
You know, let's see what you're working with because we still got to keep building on what our ancestors gave us and what we got, the opportunities we got in this country, because it is the greatest nation on the planet Earth. And it's enough for everybody.
It's enough for everybody.
It's enough for everybody. So we got to get away from the greedy and start taking care of the needy.
Needy, that's right.
You know,
that's
we got to
right.
get away from the greedy, start taking care of the needy, because once we start addressing need, eliminate lack, deal with the mental problems that we have developed in our community, we're going to have that beloved community that Dr. King wanted us to have, that he died for us to have.
Right.
You know, so, I mean, you know, that's why I always admired the Civil Rights crew, because they was able to do it in non-violent terms.
Right.
You know?
That takes strength
That takes
to be
I
nonviolent.
got it.
That takes strength, and that takes obedience, and that takes control of yourself.
Right.
But discipline, but to still be able to get the word out. Okay, so that was amazing during that period of time.
Amazing.
It was amazing. Amazing.
And I benefited from it right off the bat.
We all had.
We all
Listen,
did.
everybody had.
Yeah, so I ain't no sense
Everybody
in acting
had.
like it didn't work. It
Listen,
worked.
everybody that's come over to this country has benefited from the civil rights movement, from that fight.
Amen.
Every color that has crossed over.
You know, y'all gonna get me into preaching up here.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
we got
right.
to go. We got to go.
Yes.
But seriously, what we're talking about is what we do every Saturday we're here. We're just veterans talking to veterans and the community about all things veterans and the community, because we feel like we are an essential part of our community based on we serve.
Yep.
You know, we serve so you can have all these freedoms,
Right,
these
that's
opportunities. And you know what? It delights us to see it happening. But it saddens us to see how the devil done got in and got us killing each other like
Right,
a war.
like we are. Right.
Yeah,
That's
like it's a
sad.
war
That's
zone.
sad.
Yep.
So we're gonna work on that, because see, we didn't have it when we were growing up.
Nope.
And I know that we can have a community where kids can have fun and go to parties. You ain't got to worry about them being shot down the street, because we didn't have them automatic weapons in the street like
Right,
that.
right.
You know, that's a mentality that we got an opportunity to deal with, because you heard what she said. She said right away she gonna get away with them automatic weapons. So she got my ear right then and
Right,
now, because
right.
I know what it is in my own time. You know, and I know that means everybody. See, I'm a person that believes in the Second Amendment too. You know, I think you got the right to bear arms, but you need to be responsible for the arms you bear. When I was in the military, you was in the military, they gave you an arm, but you were responsible for let somebody else get it and do something with it.
Right. Right.
You gonna get that Article 15.
15,
You know, you gonna get it right up in your record. Listen, being a country of laws and order means that everybody follow the law.
Yep.
The rich and the poor, the privileged and the unprivileged, get the same rating under the law. Now we know that ain't happening right now, but we got a chance to see why it's not happening. The billionaires have corrupted our system. Clarence Thomas shouldn't be getting all that and then not reporting it. He shouldn't. I mean, Celino ain't got no business flying upside down. It's illegal. That person that they were talking, that Trump was talking to in the audience the other day about the voting, ain't got no business being in that position, because he's already formed a bias, and that's not what that role called for. And we got to make sure that people understand that when you take on a role in the government, like we did. You know, young men, you know, took on the role and lived up to it.
Yep.
You know, you gotta go.
Yes.
I gotta go. I gotta go. You gotta go. I forgot. Tony.